Hello, I'm Paul Ludlow. Well, what a year it's been. We are back with the majority of our ships, all decorated and poised to embark on their festive cruises. This time last year I talked about hope for the future. The definition of hope is a desire for something to happen. We certainly hoped that we would return to service and be able to give you the holidays you'd been looking forward to. In the spring we announced that we would be sailing a series of UK coastal cruises on Britannia and Iona. In May, with so many of you watching from home, the bottle of Britpop cascaded its bubbles on Iona and it seemed to epitomise the hope of new beginnings.
Yes, as you say, that news just coming in now, reports from The Times and ITV that all staff at P&O Ferries are to be made redundant with immediate effect, and it's believed that over 4,000 staff work for the company. I'm here at the Port of Hull at the moment. They run a service from Hull to Rotterdam. It's due to sail at 8:30 tonight, but we don't know if that's going to be happening. I've spoken to the local MP for Hull East, Carl Turner. He tells me that staff at the moment are on the ferry behind me and they are doing a sit-in at the moment, refusing.
Hi and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And this video is about the breaking news of the awful decision of P&O Ferries today to, shall we say, destroy 4,000 lives instantaneously in what could very well be a completely illegal act. And I know that already there are musings of court cases and massive compensation claims going in. But we're going to take a look at what they've actually done and then discuss the ramifications of it. This is an appalling act that they've perpetrated today. And I don't think their business is ever going to recover from it. Anyway, I'm going to put myself down in the corner as usual and we'll have a look. Right, so we'll get to the headline in a second, but what's happened is that the management of P&O Cruises have fired all 4,000 workers. 800 of them were fired via a Zoom meeting. And to do that, to fire someone on Zoom from a distance, electronically, is a sign of utter craven cowardice. They haven't got the balls to sit in the room with these people, look them in the face and say, we're firing you. Now, you saw at the beginning of the montage, one of the bosses there, the cruise director. He doesn't look the sort that's got a spine. I don't think he's got a lot of testosterone in his system. Mainly soy, isn't it? It's all soy. I don't think there's a man inside that shell of a body. And that could be evident from the fact they had to go to a Zoom meeting to do this. But effectively, they've fired 4,000 people today. They've, quote, made them redundant. Their positions have become redundant. Well, that's a lie, because they're now saying that the positions are now available, just not to the people that were currently employed there, because they were too expensive. If they're firing people because their position is too expensive and then immediately rehiring via agency cheaper staff, then it isn't a redundancy, is it? And if they can't call it a redundancy, so if they're calling it a redundancy but the position's not redundant, the people they're getting rid of have a claim, a massive court claim, because what P&O have done is illegal. It could also result in not just the claims from the workers, but also an actual criminal prosecution, which I also hope it does. And then they're going to lose the trust and respect of everyone. Plus all those people who have currently forked out to travel today aren't going to travel. And then there's other illegal acts that P&O have committed. So we'll have a look at this fully now. So headline, go from the headline, we'll go down. Sacked P&O staff refused to leave ports. They're actually having a sit-in on the boats after bosses illegally sent in heavies with handcuffs to turf them off ships. Now, if you're the boss sending someone in with handcuffs to restrain people, that is a criminal offence, because the moment the heavies touch anyone, it's assault, and the moment they put handcuffs on, it's illegal arrest and it's kidnapping. So the heavy's going to be arrested, and if the bosses have paid for it, they are going to prison. This is illegal. You can't do this. And without a court warrant, a court order or any kind of warrant, they are massively breaking the law. So I do hope HM Plod are watching this and will be arresting those who are making decisions and arresting those who are doing this act. So, yeah, I'd like to see a few of these directors clunked up, put into the cells overnight, and up in front of the beak tomorrow, and maybe get 6 months, because they're going to get much more. But it'd be nice, a little 6 months for them. Tossers. But we'll carry on. 800 workers were fired on Zoom, which I mentioned, leaving passengers stranded and services cancelled for days. Existing staff have been told to apply for the agency for work. So they've said, oh, we still need staff. The positions aren't redundant, but we're going to go through an agency. So if you used to work for us, we're now firing you on your good salary. You go and work for an agency for minimum wage. The move has been branded outrageous by furious union leaders. And this is one of the cases where actually I'm on the union side. I'm not usually on the union side, but in this case I totally am. Transport Secretary Grant Shapps said his officials were in urgent talks with P&O Ferries over the situation. I would like to think that the Crown Prosecution Service were in serious talks as well. Firm operates 4 routes: Dover-Calais, Hull-Rotterdam, Liverpool-Dublin and Kenryan to Larne. Owned by DP World, a Dubai-based company. Well, there we go. Because we know how good the human rights are in the Middle East. Which reported a £683 million profit last year and soaring revenues. Greedy, grasping shites, aren't they? Are you a P&O employee who has been affected by today's decision? Email, and there's a contact thing there. But getting into the story, hundreds of P&O staff have today held defiant protests and refused to disembark their ships after the shipping company today made all 800 of its crew redundant with immediate effect. But it's not just the crew, it's all the ancillary and support stuff. It's 4,000 jobs have gone, but it's 800 crew. Agency workers had already been waiting at docksides ready to board the ferries, so they've lined up agency workers, told the crew to get off, to put the agency workers on to do the jobs for, I don't know, 2/3 of the price, but the company's making nearly $1 billion in profits. Agency workers had already been waiting at docksides, ready to board the ferries, but P&O was left red-faced after its existing employees failed to disembark due to widespread fury at its treacherous decision, which was announced by a company boss over Zoom. Tiny, tiny balls, tiny, tiny cock. Today, employment lawyers warn the dismissals may well be illegal. Yes, they are. If you're firing someone and saying it's because it's redundancy, but you've got the temps sitting at the dockside ready to take your job, that's illegal. This is illegal. To help force its staff to disembark, P&O illegally hired 16 balaclava-clad and handcuff-trained officers from a private security firm, with the company telling them the job would last a week and would be paid at £14.50 an hour. This is going to cost you a lot more than £14.50 an hour. Emails sent to security guards drafted in beforehand showed bosses describing a fairly high-profile task to be dealt with over the course of a week in Dover. Those enlisted were told to bring cuffs and utility belts, but were informed they would not need body armour for this task. I really would like to think they do need body armour, and I'm hoping they haven't got it, and I'm hoping that some of them will be swimming home, because that's what I would do. On Thursday, Labour MP Dame Diana Johnson described how people in balaclavas had reportedly been seen putting sailors off ships. It's got to be so illegal. The moment those people touch anyone, it's assault. So I'm hoping that every single one of them is being done for assault. And the fact they're telling them to wear balaclavas so that they cannot be identified? How criminal is this? This is an appalling abuse. This needs to be raised. It needs to be shared. P&O's name is shit. It is shit. P&O should be discarded now. Nobody who's ever booked and been on a P&O should ever go on them again. They are hiring masked thugs to deal with a labour claim whilst they're making nearly $1 billion a year off these people. How wrong is this? I will personally never used P&O again. I've used them in the past. They're done. Never again. I'm hoping we all should do this, and I'm with the P&O workers here. You stay on those ships, even if you're going to lose your job, and even if you don't get your job back. The longer you stay on those ships, the more it's costing those wankers, those greedy, grasping wankers. A lorry driver trying to enter the port began shouting and beeping at those in the road before being told we're not moving. One of the protesters, who had worked for the company for decades, later said, "I refuse to move from this road. All this service for nothing. The police will have to take me away." Another 54-year-old former P&O employee, speaking on the condition of anonymity, explained, "There's going to be a protest here. One of the union guys just said if there's no one working to come along and support. I'm fuming, to be honest with you, and I'm bloody right he is. I've known people who've been with the firm for years. This is no way to treat people. No, this is a foreign ownership. This is Dubai-based billionaires fucking people for an extra $3 an hour. The fucking greedy bastards. And I hope P&O fails. Everyone... That's how you deal with it. And when those buggers are doing 20 years, they'll bloody well know it. Oh, it just drives me so mad. So mad. I have to calm down. But you look, I mean, you've got people's livelihoods destroyed by these tossers. I feel so sorry for them. I feel so sorry. But those thugs need to be addressed. I mean, the police need to be there and they need to arrest those thugs. Anyway, look, I'm going to come up. We'll do the round off. And I'll get out of this one because it has driven me so angry. But I need to calm down. So, yes. Well, I did really kind of lose my shit in that one. But that's the passion I feel about this. I mean, you're getting greedy billionaires looking to scrape pennies off the bottom of a barrel. Meanwhile, families are destroyed, incomes ruined, households ripped apart, and for what? For nothing. For these guys don't even notice the difference. But P&O have brought this on themselves. Now, I can't tell anyone what to do. I will never use P&O again. I would advise anyone who was even considering P&O to use alternative means. It doesn't matter what it is, anything. Make them suffer. Make them watch as their ferries fail. And there's nothing else you can do. There's nothing. Support the workers in this case and screw the bosses. I hope you're with me. And I hope you like what you see and hear on this channel. And if you do, please hit subscribe. Ring the notification bell for more output. Oh, my dog's just turned up to see me. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and don't get angry. Goodbye.